What is going on, everybody? It's Sean O'Connell, the managing director here at CinemaBlend, and we are days away from heading down to San Diego for the 50th annual Comic-Con, a celebration of all things pop culture. And of course, we're going to cover as many of the panels and presentations as we can, but we wanted to single out the 5 biggest ones that stand out to us here at CinemaBlend. Before I dive into those, make sure that you go down and hit subscribe, and then turn on your notifications so that you can follow along with all of our coverage from San Diego Comic-Con 2019. It Chapter 2. I want to kick off with something that's become an annual tradition, which is the ScareDiego festival that takes place on Wednesday night. Sponsored by New Line and Warner Brothers, they like to bring some sort of horror footage to an anticipated horror movie that's coming out in the back half of the year. And this year they're going to focus on It Chapter 2, which is the continuation of the kid fight against Pennywise the evil clown. Now, if you read Stephen King's original source book, you know that the second half of that story takes place when the main characters in the story are adults, and we have the adult cast and the kid cast coming down to San Diego to show off new footage from Andy Muschietti's It Chapter 2. So we're going to have a reaction to the footage that they show at ScareDiego, and we'll have hopefully some good quotes to pull from the cast about playing those characters. It was such a huge movie, had that great tease at the end where it said, you know, It Chapter 1. Everybody's been sort of ramped up for the sequel from that moment on, and we're finally going to get a longer look beyond the trailer at September's release of It Chapter 2. The biggest place to be in San Diego Comic-Con is Hall H on every single day, and usually it's a movie or television panel that's looking ahead. But this year during San Diego Comic-Con, HBO has the cast of Game of Thrones coming back for a victory lap to sort of celebrate their final season. We didn't know for the longest time who was actually going to be participating in this year's panel, but now we can confirm that Arya Stark herself, Maisie Williams, will be joined on the panel by Jacob Anderson, who plays Grey Worm, Bran Stark actor Isaac Hempstead Wright, a Samuel Tarly actor John Bradley, Ian Glenn, who plays Ser Jorah, and plenty more from the cast who will be there in Hall H. Back on the movie side of things, Hall H will have the debut presentation of footage from Terminator Dark Fate. Now, we've seen a trailer from this film, but we expect the full cast to show up at Paramount's presentation of the anticipated Terminator sequel. That means Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be back in Hall H, Linda Hamilton will be showing up in Hall H, and they'll be joined by director Tim Miller and the rest of the cast to bring what we expect to be an extended look at the November release of the latest Terminator film. TV's going to experiment with a lot of panels for shows that we are anticipating but don't know how great they're going to be. Star Trek is going to have a massive panel on Saturday, and Netflix is going to bring The Witcher, but we always look to staples like Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead to bring cast and footage to their presentations on Hall H, and this year won't be any different. Now, Fear the Walking Dead is in the middle of a season and is actually going to give their panel presentation right before the season finale on Sunday. Of course, The Walking Dead always has a lot of different storylines at play, so they should bring some anticipated footage and answer some questions about where this next season is going to go. So those are panels that fans tend to circle and really anticipate because a lot of great information usually comes out of those presentations. The biggest one of all, easily the biggest panel at San Diego Comic-Con this year or any year that they decide to show up, is Marvel Studios. But they're bigger for this reason. We expect Marvel to unleash their full slate of what is coming in what we believe is going to be called Marvel Phase 4. Now, I've heard 2 theories that this could be a celebratory victory lap with the old members of the first 23 films, meaning Downey Jr. could be there, Chris Evans could be there, Chris Hemsworth could be there, and they could give one last thank you to the fans. We appreciate everything you've done. Avengers Endgame has closed off that chapter. I don't think that's going to happen personally. I think this will be a look ahead, but I've heard both options sort of weighed out there. And there's enough going on with the production slate at Marvel Studios that they could tell us what's coming in the next few years, whether it be Black Widow, Guardians 3, sequels to Black Panther and Doctor Strange, a lot of motion on Shang-Chi lately, so we might hear a cast. There's a lot of places that could go with future films. The reason why people are hesitant to say that Marvel's going to blow it all out on Saturday evening in Hall H is that Disney also has D23 in Anaheim coming up in August, and they can save some of those big reveals for their own presentation. But either way, I still think that the Marvel Studios Hall H panel on Saturday is going to be the big daddy of Comic-Con, and a lot of news is going to come out. That is just a sliver of the things that we're really anticipating seeing at San Diego Comic-Con over the next couple of days, but we're also there for the surprises, the panels that we're not expecting, the presentations that knock us off of our feet, and the footage that really wows us. So make sure that you follow along with everything that we're doing from San Diego Comic-Con. Go down and hit subscribe, turn on your notifications. It'll allow you to know as soon as we're posting a new video or interview or footage reaction live from San Diego here on CinemaBlend's YouTube page.